Hey gamers, welcome back to another devlog for this small MMORPG that still has no name. A lot has changed since the last update, and today I'm going to show you some of the biggest improvements, including a new character, an inventory system, and better monster creation tools. Elf creation. My first step in creating this character was to go to ChatGPT and ask him to generate some elf images. After picking a few that I felt right, I reached out to my new best friend Hunshuan 3D and asked it to create a few models. With a few raw models in hand, I knew that the worst part was coming. The biggest fear of any programmer. It was time to open the Blender. So I'll just skip ahead here because it was mostly me struggling to remember hotkeys and spending 2 days trying to rig a character. Short story, I ended up with some functional model. Next on the list was the creation of the animation, or at least that was the plan. I decided to take an easy route, so I went straight to the Unity Asset Store and bought a few animation packs. Most of them worked well, but there are still some weird blending issues, like when the character tries to shoot while walking. For the unique skill of this character, I wanted something different. We already had the strike projectile, the same that the monsters use. So I decided to add multi-shot. It basically fires 3 projectiles in a spread, and if you stand close to a monster, it functions somewhat like a shotgun. Loot and inventory system. Before jumping into the inventory, I had to solve a small problem. Where do items came from? I mean, I could just make them appear out of thin air, but that wouldn't be immersive, right? So now monsters drop items, and there are 4 rarity tiers, and this system makes collecting loot way more fun. Now, let's talk about the inventory system, which was an absolute nightmare to implement. Unlike regular inventories, where equipment is just a sprite swap, here I had to deal with actual 3D models. I won't go too technical, but just so you know, it took me 4 full days, and honestly, I still feel like it doesn't work properly. But that wasn't enough suffering for me. I also added a system to swap the character's equipment in real time. Right now, I only have 1 armor set, a bow, and of course the wings, because you guys told me that it was a must-have. Monster system revamp and new camera. I also revamped the monster system, making it faster and easier to create new creatures. Before, adding a monster was a manual, time-consuming process. Now I can create and place a new enemy in just minutes. Oh, and I also added a small dragon, cute. And finally, I updated the camera system. Before wrapping up, I want to ask for your help. This game still doesn't have a name. If you have any cool name ideas, drop them in the comments. I'd love to hear your suggestions. What's next? There's still a lot to do. Refining animations, fixing bugs, improving combat mechanics, but the game is really starting to take shape. I think I managed to fulfill most of the requests from the previous video, but if I missed something, I'm sorry. I actually keep all your suggestions saved in a notepad, and I'll be working on them in future updates. Next week, I'm planning to set up a playtest to see how many players we can handle before the server completely breaks. Should be fun. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates. And remember, your comment is my command. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.